Chapter 81 is just a pure fight between Apollo and Leonidas, and this is so brutal as Leonidas is able to stand tall in this chapter thanks to Apollo arrogance and his cockiness, because the one thing that he failed to mention or to analyze is that Spartas do not give up at all. Spartas are the strongest people alive, and he's facing Leonidas, and now he's recognizing this as he is down on his knees. But we start off with the chapter as we get a brief story on how great Sparta is. With the slogan, if you want to see tomorrow, then don't stand in front of Sparta's, talking about the event of the 300, where Leonidas and his army was fighting against the thousands armies of Persia. And we see a panel where Leonidas and his army is standing on top of the dead Persians' armies with blood everywhere and even on the shield, which was totally badass. But then we continue where we left off from the last chapter after Apollo made this narrow pathway so that him and Leonidas can go head to head, and he's stating that he will beat him any kind of way because he was already hearing that from humanities that they were already talking about how Apollo just kept dodging and weaving every time that Apollo kept going after him, and how that Apollo, he's not man enough to go toe to toe against Leonidas, face to face against him. So Apollo was just like, all right, cool, bet, let's go ahead and do this. Which the gods, they're just like, what are you doing? Don't do this. Don't underestimate your opponent, because the God side, they already saw 9 rounds of humanity going toe to toe against the gods. And that some of these rounds they won. They saw gods like Hercules, Poseidon, Hades. All of them got defeated by humanity. So they automatically know that humanity, there's someone not to mess with. So, of course, the Apollo, when he did this narrow path, he just insulted Leonidas, Spartans, and everything else, which didn't fit toe to the Spartans, because they're just like, oh, how dare you insult us? This is the worst way that you can insult, Spartans and us and our captain. And Leonidas, he's pissed off. And even his Valkyrie is also pissed off as well, because she can't even stand the arrogance and how much that Apollo actually insulted not only Leonidas, but also her as well. So she's just like, all right, so let's get this guy, because I want to make sure that this guy gets on his knees. He's on the floor, being humble, because Apollo at this moment, his ego, his pride, his energy, everything is just going up to the roof. And even like Ares is just stating like, oh my gosh, like what Apollo's doing, this man needs to actually think and have common sense. He needs to stop thinking for himself. And then this is where we see Zeus. He's just like, that's just how Apollo is. And that's how he's very powerful. Like the way that he is, the cockiness, the swag, and just everything. That's just how he makes him be very powerful and very dangerous and very lethal. So, of course, we see Apollo. He's just bright and he's charging up all of his energy. And of course, he is the sun god. So, of course, you see like this bright light. He is just shining so bright. And it's just really awesome. And there was even a title saying that I am the sun that would never set to embrace the evening itself. And it was just a cool stance that Apollo was able to do. And as the light is just brightening, shine and shine, then Leonidas, he goes on ahead and he decided to change his weapon, because it's just like, you know what, it's time. And we see that instead of him having like the yo-yo blade, now is like this giant club, as Leonidas is just like, you know what, it's time. We're going to smash this fucker. We're going to go on ahead and destroy this god. And the best part about this is not only that Leonidas Valkyrie is matching his energy, she is just smiling. She has like that sinister smile, like she's just ready for all the smoke. Even when it's certain panels, she's like right beside him, or like the silhouette is like right beside him. And it's just 100% awesome. It's just like, yes, you could just tell that their energy just really did match to each other. And not only that, but Leonidas brought up one of his cigars and he was smoking this. Leonidas, he's not wearing this at all. This man has full confidence that he will go on ahead with this new weapon and whoop Apollo's ass. After both of them showcase their new technique, they both charge towards each other as Leonidas does the first swing as he used Godbreaker hammer and swing at Apollo as Apollo suddenly dodged because Leonidas he was able to hit the floor, showcasing how powerful this attack is because the arena actually broke and shattered, and even the gods they were amazed by how strong Leonidas is, but they didn't see that Apollo was able to dodge the attack. And Leonidas, he noticed it as he was just seeing, like, oh, damn, I messed up. So he's trying to adjust, but Apollo was able to hit a body shot, hit it a punch straight to Leonidas' stomach, and Leonidas is stumbling back. But Leonidas is still is able to try to get a hold of his hammer, and he sees that Apollo is coming straight at him with another punch. As Leonidas was able to go on ahead and counter it with the hammer, but the punch was so powerful that it knocked back the hammer. And then Apollo questioned Leonidas and complimenting him by stating that he's a very dangerous one. So he used the threat of Artemis to go on ahead and hold Leonidas' arms. And then he was able to hit Leonidas with another punch straight to the face as everyone is in shock to see what has happened. And this is the second time Leonidas get punched in the face. And this time it was dangerous. And now Apollo, he's just like, oh, let me give you another punch. And he just keeps hitting Leonidas straight in the face as Leonidas' face is all messed up. Blood is coming out of his nose. Blood is coming out of his forehead. His whole face is just damn bloody. And Gold is just like, it's over. It's over. But then Brihilda is just saying that, girl, you are wrong. The Spartans are the strongest because of their fighting power. No, they never bow down to anyone, and their pride and everything else is what fuels them. And we see that Leonidas, he's getting up, he's adjusting, he's using the string of Artemis to his advantage as he's pulling Apollo straight towards him. And then he goes on ahead and he does a massive headbutt as it says, behold, this is Sparta, as he connects his head to Apollo's head, and Apollo's nose it starts to bleed as blood is coming out, and everyone's in shock to see what has happened. And this is the opportunity that Leonidas need to go on ahead and strike Apollo. As a bloody Leonidas and his Valkyrie simultaneously says that you will be the one who will kneel before me, as Leonidas swings the Godbreaker hammer right in front of Apollo's face as Apollo is stunned and Apollo is flying and all the gods are in all shock. Leonidas is stunned every single body. And then suddenly we see Apollo is flying towards the air and he crashes to the ground in a pause position, but his knees is on the ground and his face is on the ground pummeling. And then we see that Leonidas, he pulls out his pack of Apollo and he says, how does it feel to be looked down upon, as the chapter ends? And we see that Apollo is down. This was a good opening, and this is a good chance for Leonidas to take advantage of, because we saw in the past couple of chapters that Apollo was pretty much was dominating, and this is the chapter where we see Leonidas, he stands on top. And it is really crazy because throughout this chapter, Apollo, he was talking mad trash to Leonidas. He was just like, do you think that I will be on my knees for a pathetic human like you? That this was just crazy. And now it's just good to see that Apollo has been humble, and this is just really crazy. But other than that, it looks like this fight is going to kick into a new gear, and it looks like it's about time that this fight has kicked into a new gear. But let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about this chapter, what you guys think, process, who you guys think who will win against Leonidas versus Apollo. Let me know down in the comment section. If you guys do like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and remember, always be decent. This is the Monotone Man, and hope you guys have a wonderful day and be safe out here. Peace.